Okay, we're waiting for the judge to enter. Miss Palmachino?
Yes.
There? I don't see you, but I hear you.
Yeah, I can hear Your Honor. I had a fall, so I'm kind of, I know, I fell pretty hard, and yeah, so anyway, I'm doing some bed rest right now. I figured you don't need to see me in my bed.
Oh my goodness, what did you?
I did. I tripped really hard, so I thought my foot was broken, but I guess it's sprained. So
I thought what was broken?
my right foot.
Oh.
Yeah, but apparently it's sprained. But you know, during the fall, just trying to stop myself, I messed up my back, my knee, my thumb, you name it.
I know the feeling. Yeah, my fault. Yeah. Okay. Now, the purpose of this meeting is to make sure that we have relinquished jurisdiction, that they have relinquished jurisdiction. Is that the case?
Yes.
I believe so. I don't think anybody here has objected to Florida taking jurisdiction.
But we just need some order that authorizes us to do that, because you now want to modify the order.
Yeah, the language in the last order, paragraph 9 says, with the entry of this order, all pending pleadings are resolved, and this matter is taken off call. I'm not really sure what that means, but
I didn't either. But then I saw something else that said that inferred that they would keep it for something. I don't remember where I read something. I guess one of the documents wasn't attached immediately, and maybe it got attached later.
I guess at any rate, you know, obviously to enforce it, we don't, you know, you can always enforce it, but I think if we are going to modify it, it's probably safe to just get them to sign off and relinquish.
Right. Well, I think, see, one of the things, if the mother was having services like we do here, for instance, then
yeah,
to know what did she have to, what kind of safety plan was in place that she had to complete.
That to me, Your Honor, is the biggest challenge here with handling it in Florida, because, you know, as you know, dealing with DCF is difficult anyway, but when they're out of state and all the witnesses and case managers and all the evidence is out of state as well, it's a challenge. My understanding from the records I read is that they did try working with the mother. She wasn't in compliance, and you know, but as far as specific case plan and tasks, I don't believe she completed a case plan, so then there's that challenge as well.
my understanding is that the DCF up there closed their case on 12/21.
Right, they can close their case. When they close their case, doesn't mean that they didn't expect, they'll close it.
Sure.
They'll close any case when they can give custody to one of the parents. And then in their reports, they put what the other parent's supposed to do.
Right.
So that's what we do here.
Are the judges here we're going to be talking to today, were they judges in the dependency case, or were they judges in the family law case?
Well, your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea what Illinois is, but I have a feeling that this judge thinks we're on Central Time Zone, because she hasn't. I just noticed that the notice said 4:15, and they're on Central Time Zone.
They are.
So I don't think that we knew that parts of Illinois. Well, Chicago's on Central Time Zone, isn't it?
Yeah, 1 hour, right? 1 hour.
I believe they're behind us.
Isn't there part of some Illinois that's on Eastern Standard or not? Is the whole state?
Are they really
okay? We didn't. Nobody caught that in the hearing, so my office is calling up there to see if the judge is available to get on.
Yeah, it's 3:19 in Chicago now.
Yes, I just looked that up myself.
So
they may be thinking 4:15 their time.
No one knows how to
I guess they don't
communicate.
know that we don't work out.
This has been a problem. Lack of communication.
Madam Clerk, just place the parties under oath if you would. Because I'd like to see what's going on with the case right now anyway, since we're all here.
If each of you can raise your right hands for me, please.
Is that me? Am I supposed to be on camera?
See her hand.
Rick told me not to go off on camera.
Is it just a picture of her?
That's what I think. I believe it is.
Okay. Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this cause, the truth, for so help you God?
What is going on? I was told no participating.
I think they're both. Oh, he's not muted now. He just unmuted.
Sorry, I had it muted. Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was told by my attorney I wasn't participating in this, but I'm here.
There she is.
Yeah.
Judge Matthews is coming also. We thought it was 4:15 standard time, so he's coming. We're actually just on the phone and I got the message to jump on.
Oh, I appreciate that. We just noticed that we did not put Eastern Standard Time on it. We're sorry if we interrupted. These are the parties before the court right now and their attorneys. One's bedridden, so we can't see her, but one of the attorneys is, and she can hear us. And basically, Judge, what we wanted to know, in the dependency action in this particular case, did she have a plan, did the mother have a plan that she was supposed to complete, and whether or not your court is going to be relinquishing continuing jurisdiction because they want to modify? Of course, we can enforce your plan as it is, but now there's a motion to modify, and we're pretty strict about modifying anything until another court relinquishes jurisdiction to us.
That's I just want, let's see, is Judge Matthews jumping in? Because he had the juvenile case, and then I had the family case, and so that's where he wanted to be part of it, so I don't want to speak out of turn. And I was literally on the phone with him when I said, oh, we're supposed to be on. So let me just tell him.
Tell me observation only. Don't fucking talk. Don't turn your camera on. And then all of a sudden I'm being told to...
You say it's on the phone, does that mean you'll come in Zoom then?
We could come in. I just actually texted him too. I said, we're waiting for you. Because he and I were talking on the telephone. When I emailed, I said, I think we're supposed to be on now, not at 4:15. So I'm expecting him momentarily, else he's not tied up before.
Oh, here it is.
Hey, there's the piece of shit that fucked up my whole life. I'm muted.
Judge Matthews.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for zooming in. I'm sorry about we did not put Eastern Standard Time on our notice, but what the parties are attempting to do, they both live here now in Florida, and we're trying to find out whether or not your court is going to relinquish jurisdiction, and if the mother had a case plan that needed to be completed prior to exercising either the plan that she had, or modifying it, or what we need to do down here to anything.
Thank you. And thank you so much, Judge Warren. And I do apologize. I should have thought to myself, clearly if it was your time, it would be 5 o'clock. And you, so I don't know why. So thank you for being patient. And thank you for everyone for meeting. So from my viewpoint, and that's what we have Judge Milius here today. Thank you, Judge Milius, as well. As we know, cut to the chase, there are two separate issues, right? There's the juvenile court order, and there is the family case order, and that's where Judge Milius comes in. As far as the juvenile court order, and I can pull up in a moment, I should have pulled up before now, which was entered probably a year and a half ago, maybe a year ago, a year and a half. The court closed interest. It found that Mr. Serlick was fit to care for, train, protect, and discipline the
Except
children,
he's not.
and return the daughter, actually specifically the daughter, to him and close the case out. And I did let him know and admonish him that while the juvenile court case is done and over, that he could be subject to, since the young lady is still under the age of 18, he still could be subject to family court if there is a mom sought to change something with regards to custody or
Because they're two separate
proceedings
courts.
regarding the family as a whole. He could be subject to come back into family court. But as far as the juvenile court was done, considered the case was closed. So I don't know what, if anything, mom can do unless she appeal. But again, I think we're nowhere more than past the 30 days to appeal. So I don't know what jurisdiction this court even have over the matter any further from the juvenile court perspective.
And was she supposed to comply with any of the conditions? It wasn't the mom who is the DCF going because of the mother's actions, or and then they gave sole custody to the father. Is that what had happened here?
No, it was an issue of, if my memory serves correctly, I looked it up. It was domestic violence, I think, was the allegation within the report.
No.
So it was sort of a family.
He doesn't even know my
dynamic.
fucking case.
And Mr. Serlick happened to be the one who complied with all the conditions. And so since he was the parent that complied with all conditions, the court found him to be the fit parent and returned custody of the young lady to him.
Okay.
He's only talking about Ariana.
So,
When you say, I'm sorry, this is Serena Baldacchino, I'm the attorney for Mr. Serlick. When you're referring to the young lady, are you referring to the oldest of the 4 children?
Yes, I'm sorry, it's the oldest child, yes.
Okay, because the others were already placed with him previously at his parents' house in Florida, right?
Right. What ended up happening was that he had done enough. When it comes to the younger children, he had done enough to allow the court to return the younger children to him. The difference between that and the oldest child is that she was thriving in her foster place. We talking about school. She was doing so good as a freshman and a sophomore.
And now
She was
she's
getting
doing
her
horrible.
driver's license.
Isn't
She
somebody
was
telling
working
him
as a
that?
safe,
He chose to drive her down here, and now she's doing horrible.
What do you call it? Lifeguard. She had so much going for herself, and she had wanted to continue to live with the foster parents to finish high school, and the foster parents were more than willing to have her, of course. But what I told her was that your dad did everything he was required to do under law, and I don't have any basis to keep you from him. And I was trying to encourage her to engage in more of the family therapy to work through some of her issues. Some of her concerns had been from her that she felt like she, with her father, that she had to play more of a parent role
Yep.
for her younger siblings.
He
And she
sits down and
didn't
plays
feel that was
video
fair to
games.
her as she was trying to pursue her own life through school and so forth. And that was one of her major issues that she had. And so I wanted her to talk about those things in family therapy. But at the end of the day, I told her, and I gave her time. In fact, I said, I can't remember exactly when, but it was 9 months out. I said, young lady, what's going to happen? We're going to come back 9 months from now.
And she was
By
bawling her
then,
eyes
you'll
out.
be finishing up your, I think, junior year, maybe sophomore year. And so I don't want to change anything that's going to disrupt your current education. But you're going back home to dad, but I want to make sure it's not disruptive to your education. So I think it was the end of her sophomore year, around May or June, the transition occurred. The foster parents moved her down to dad, helped her move down to dad, so she can register for school down in Florida and continue with her life there. So that's kind of how things
Somebody tell him
transpired.
she's not thriving. He made the
Thank
wrong
you.
choice.
You're welcome.
And just, I guess, for the sake of jumping in, the last order in the family law case, which is still part of Judge Matthews' case, was April 27th of 2022, at which time Dad was given sole parental responsibilities and sole decision-making for CS, BS, and TS.
Which
It's
means Ariana is
100%
currently
parenting time.
floating.
DCFS had placed the kids with him at his parents' residence in Florida, and Ms. Bendel had been ordered to pay child support at that time.
That's it. Right, and that's how it remains to this day.
Correct. It has never been back in the family law courts here since that April 27th date.
Mr. Brown?
That's all correct. The order we've been working with is that at our status conference was the April 27, 22 order in the family court.
But it doesn't
And no
cover
child
Ariana.
support has been paid at all.
Or is it supposed to be put to the Illinois court?
They don't even know.
I don't know. It's an Illinois order. I don't see anything related to being paid in Florida in this order anywhere.
So if the mother wants any parental rights, then are you saying she needs to come back to you?
What?
Judge Means, I think that's to you.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would say that, because at this point, if we are over 2 years where everyone's living in Florida, I'm not sure that Illinois would still be the home state. I'm just looking.
Okay.
Child support. So it says that Ms. Bundle had retroactive child support in the amount of $5,495.
Yet he still owes me because they never took care of 2017 through 2020.
Child support was directly being exchanged between mom and dad.
Right, that was my recollection. Is that right, Mr. Serlick? It was to go directly to you?
How? You have me on block, you piece of shit.
As far as I believe, yes.
Nobody fucking knows because he has me on block.
There was no other indication from the court that there was supposed to be any other intermediary to be handling it.
Okay, so in a sole parental custody case, as you have it there, the mother has no time sharing?
No, the court in paragraphs 2 and 3, the Illinois court reserved issued separate the 3 children in paragraph 3, the issue of parenting time and or contact between Heather, the mother, and the minor children is reserved. And in paragraph 2, because the oldest child was still with with their DCF, the court stated allocation of parental responsibilities for AS, that's the oldest child, is reserved as AS is currently in the care and custody of DCFS, which is comparable to our DCF. So the judge specifically reserved on parental rights in this order.
And I think isn't she going to be 18 soon, Mr.
I
Serlick?
think this month.
Yeah, that's what I.
Well, I don't know worried about an 18-year-old.
We won't be before then anyway, so it should be 18.
So I'm thinking about the 3 younger children is what I'm saying, that nothing was established in a time sharing plan. So if they're not taking continuing jurisdiction, you all want me to modify something that really isn't even in place, because there's really nothing in place for the mother.
Well, the court specifically reserved on the other 3 children.
Right.
It says the issue of parenting time and or contact
Is
between Heather,
reserved,
that's the
meaning
mother,
it's
and the minor
up for
children.
conversation at a later court date.
Right.
That's literally what
And
it
if I
means.
may step in, I'm looking up the cases for the juvenile portion regarding other 2 minors. 3. Thomas, Charlie, and Bianca Serlick. I do see a court order entered on January 27th, order of dismissal. So it says that the court orders that custody of the minor be given to Father Justin Serlick. So that order that's all 3. We just put all 3 names in there, all 3 case numbers. And again, that was entered, the date entered by the judge was December 14, 2021. But the file stamp from our clerk is January 27, 2022.
And do you all, to the judges, you share your files? Like, do you?
No,
Judge
they
Warren,
don't.
will you share their file?
2
Or-
separate courts.
No, I don't do their file. That's why we kind of have these meetings to see where we are. So I think that the court up there believes that they no longer have jurisdiction. And for our interest, if we can get something signed relinquishing jurisdiction over the three children, the 3 youngest, then that will satisfy this court. And it looks like I'm gonna basically have us do an initial plan and see what the circumstances is, and may have to do a order guardian ad litem again and see where the mother's at. I don't know, it's been a couple years.
mother has
I
been
don't think
kept
she had any
from her
time
children
sharing
by
with
the
her
father,
children, and
which is
so
not going to make him look good.
that's I need to know what the risks are.
To
I need
fucking
to know
punish
what's
me
going
for not
on
wanting to
with
put up
the
with this
family.
shit
So,
anymore.
does one of the attorneys want to prepare the order for the court up there to relinquish, or is this something that you all do yourselves, or how do you all handle these UCC cases?
Well, what I can do, so as like an aside, I think it's going right along what you're asking, Judge Warren, but from that juvenile case standpoint, that same order also indicates that guardianship was granted by the court to the father. So what I can do here in Illinois, I'm sure maybe the same in Florida, but the parents of a minor in a juvenile abuse neglect case has rights to view and copy the record. So what I can do, if Mr. Serlick has asked me to do this, I could have our clerks release those particular orders to him, and at least he'll have it in his possession. And so at least you have those orders to present to you, Your Honor, down there in Florida, from the JA standpoint.
Oh, but you kept it from me this whole fucking time, and I had to spend 12 plus hours going through emails,
Yeah,
you
he is
piece of
asking.
shit.
I'm his attorney, Serena Baldacchino, and he is asking. He was able to get some records, but I could tell from looking at them, I feel like something's missing. So that would be great.
Yeah,
I
it's
believe
called
that was an
integrity
issue
of
at our
Illinois.
status comments that we didn't think he had all the records.
Okay, so we'll address that before we get off the Zoom, and then we'll figure out a way to make sure our clerks is in contact with you attorneys to make sure you can get that information. But I guess more importantly, to answer Judge Warren's question is, I guess, who should prepare an proposed order for our family court up here to relinquish the jurisdiction?
I think Mr. Brown would be a good candidate, right? Since it's
Of course,
your
my
petition,
money.
Mr. Brown.
I'll do it if we can do it from down here. Sounds to me like the Illinois court needs to actually relinquish jurisdiction. That would be an order coming from them.
I mean, Judge Matthews, you and I can probably work together. You can talk about when your order was in time, and then I technically had the most recent order in April relative to placement of the kids, discharging the GAL, and then maybe we both, I'll do the body of it, we'll get it stamped, and then send it down.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be the proper form, correct.
Best way to get that to you? I mean, is it just, should I file stamp it and then email it again, or how do you?
If you email it to my judicial assistant, that we'll file it, and then before we zoom off, look back to the judges zoom off, I want the parties to stay on, because I do want to move this case moving along and see where we are as far as our next proceedings.
Oh, yeah, let's see where the kids are with Daddy.
At least this board's going to continue and basically see what's going on with the kids and get a report from someone. So,
Your Honor, if you recall at our conference, we had a few motions that we were going to set, and you asked that Serena and I get together, which I think we rescheduled. We had it scheduled once, had to reschedule it, and see if we could decide who we're going to use for these, like the guardian ad litem, those kind of things.
Well, let's release the judges so they don't have to listen to this anymore. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honors.
Thank you.
Okay. So, you and Serena didn't get together then?
No, we were supposed to get together, I think the day I got back, and there was just no way I was going to be able to do that.
Okay, well, then it looks like she's in any shape or form. So, the mom is not even seeing the children at this point, is that it?
No, that's what, we filed a motion before I left, actually, for Europe that requested a hearing for temporary time sharing. Maybe her and I can, when we meet, we can sit down and work something out without having to set that hearing. That's probably going to be a pretty lengthy hearing.
Okay,
Yeah, I think we just need to work out some parameters, since it has been quite some time since she's seen the children. And
well, that's not
really
totally true, because she's been visiting
the one point, right?
a couple
The young
of school.
right.
The only school she's had a problem with of the 3 schools they attend is Camel Middle School. And we'll get into the factual issues that involve that, down the road. But there was an order given to them that was an expired order that they seem to still be working under, even though the other 2 schools are not. They recognize that it was an order that had expired.
Even though he was running around giving it to them after it was expired.
And we can get into the
Knowing
legalities
it's
of it
expired.
later, but I don't believe she has any rights to see the children right now. So I don't think she's supposed to be going to the school, and when she does go, the children are often quite upset. So, but I think as long as you and I, Mr. Brown, can actually sit down and meet, I do have some ideas for a gal. Your Honor, I know you mentioned Don Huseman, and then you know who else is doing it now is Allison McCabe.
I will not agree to her. Sorry.
Okay. Well, we'll discuss some more. I do, if there is some way, prefer, I know how this may sound, but a female sometimes speaking to the children.
Well, I was looking for somebody that has dependency experience and family law experience.
What about Kim Bannister?
Kim would work for me. I would actually talk to Kim about it. She actually mentioned Jonathan Bluover. I think I mentioned that at our status conference, because he's in juvenile court every day. So he's got probably the most juvenile family and juvenile experience of anybody that we could choose. I don't know if he would do it. I could ask him, but.
So why don't you email? Why don't we email and set up a time for us to meet? I anticipate being.
I thought we had a time. Did you ask Julie? I think Patty and Julie are working on a time. I don't know if they actually established. I think maybe it's this week or next week.
I don't. Okay. Well, we'll work that out.
So one of the things I had to do at the very beginning of all this shit,
Well, see what you can do.
I had to take a Post-it note, cover his face, because I couldn't focus on anything. I just wanted to kill him.
Yes, no, the 19th on your CMCs.
Well, so what you want? Okay, you leave it on and you give me an update at the CMC doctor.
Okay.
Okay.
That works.
All right. Thank you.
Your
Yes, Your
Honor.
Honor.
Thanks.